children. Today we are going to begin with a new lesson in chemistry, oxygen and oxides. Children, oxygen is such a gas which is also called a life-supporting gas. Why is it called a life-supporting gas, children? Because that all the living organisms on our planets cannot survive in the absence of oxygen. Whether we talk about plants, we talk about animals, we talk about human beings, all of us need oxygen in order to stay alive. It is also a very important component which takes place or helps out in combustion. Another word for combustion is burning. So any kind of burning, combustion can only take place in the presence of oxygen. It is also required for the joining of the metals, that is welding of the metals. All metals and non-metals have high affinity. Affinity means they have a high attraction or love for oxygen. That means whenever they will get an opportunity to combine with oxygen, they readily combine. Now, according to the discovery of oxygen, there was a person who was known as Carl Wilhelm. He was a Swedish chemist and he was the first one who obtained oxygen in the year 1772. And how did he do it? He started heating niter. Niter is potassium nitrate. And then he observed that oxygen was given out. He gave this oxygen as the name of vital air or the fire air. But unfortunately, because he was not able to publish his work, publish means to get it printed in the books or in the papers, he was not able to do this, so the discovery of oxygen is not given to Carl Wilhelm. There was another person whose name was Joseph Priestley. He also prepared oxygen by the action of sun rays on mercuric oxide that was enclosed in the column of mercury. Now look at the apparatus setup, children. He had taken a trough and in that trough he had kept a beehive shelf. This shelf over here is a beehive shelf. And on top of that there was one test tube taken that was inverted, and that test tube had a little bit of mercuric oxide. It was filled with mercury and then it was inverted upside down. So the mouth of the test tube is this side. And this arrangement was kept where the sunlight was made to focus on the mercuric oxide using a hand lens. Now to his surprise, what did he see? He saw that the level of the mercury started coming down. And why the level of the mercury started coming down, children? It was because there was a gas that was filling up over here and it was pushing the mercury down. And when later on this gas was tested, he took a burning candle near the mouth of the test tube. He saw that the flame of the candle became bigger. Now because oxygen is a supportive gas, it supports combustion to take place, children. So the size of the flame, which would have been small, started becoming bigger and bigger. Why did it become from a small flame to a bigger flame? That was because oxygen supports burning. So he was surprised to see that the candle flame got shot up. Priestley was able to get his work published in the year 1774, and that is why he is regarded as the discoverer of oxygen. The word oxygen was derived from two words, oxus, that means acid, and generis means a maker. So it was found that it is present in most of the acids. Like you take HNO3 has oxygen, then H2SO4 has oxygen, CH3COOH has oxygen. So all the acids have oxygen in it. The atomic number of the gas is 8. That means it has 8 electrons in its atom. And these 8 electrons, they revolve around the nucleus in 2 different shells. And that is why the electronic configuration of oxygen is how much, children? 2 and 6. 2 electrons in the first shell and 6 electrons in the other shell. There are also other isotopes of oxygen that are present in our environment. Now what is the word? The atomic number of oxygen is 8. That means, children, it has 8 electrons in its atom, where 2 electrons are found in its first shell and 6 electrons are found in its second shell. There are also 3 naturally occurring isotopes of oxygen. Now what are isotopes, children? Isotopes are the atoms of the same element that have the same atomic number. Now if you look at it, it has 8, 8 and 8. That means same atomic number but a different mass number. See, 16, 17 and 18. Why there is a difference in the mass number, children? The difference is there in the mass number because all these 3 atoms of oxygen contain a different number of neutrons. The electrons are same, the protons are same, but it is the number of neutrons that gives rise to the isotopes. So oxygen has 3 isotopes. Occurrence. How is oxygen found? Occurrence. Oxygen occurs on this earth in the form of native form. Native form means, children, that it doesn't combine with anything. It is found in its natural state. Or it can be found in the combined state. You know, in the nature we have a lot of combined form of oxygen, that is in the form of water. So water is the biggest form in which oxygen is present in our planet, and it is also present in the native form, that is in the environment that we are able to breathe. So that means it is present in both the native as well as in the combined form. Coming to the lab preparation or the laboratory preparation of the gas. In the laboratory, children, it is prepared by the action of hydrogen peroxide. And this hydrogen peroxide uses a catalyst, that is manganese dioxide, and then it breaks into water and oxygen. Now in your books, children, if the diagram is given, have a close look at the diagram, how it takes place. See, this is a round bottom flask. And then the mouth of the round bottom flask is closed with a stopper, that is two-holed. Two-holed means it has 2 holes. Through one of the hole a thistle funnel passes, and through the other hole a delivery tube passes. And this delivery tube comes to the other side and opens in a trough. See, this is known as a trough, children, that contains this structure which is given over here is a beehive shell. And on top of the beehive shell we have a gas jar that is filled with water, and then it is inverted over this beehive shell. Now slowly and slowly manganese dioxide is taken over here. Slowly and slowly, drop by drop from the thistle funnel, hydrogen peroxide is made to drop. As it drops in the presence of manganese dioxide, it starts breaking into water and oxygen. Water mixes here only, children, and oxygen being a gas, it comes out and it can be seen in the form of bubbles. These bubbles means that the gas is coming out through the water. This oxygen keeps collecting over here and the water moves down. So this way in which oxygen is collected on top and the water moves down is known as downward displacement of water. Now there are certain precautions that have to be taken into consideration when we are performing and preparing the gas in the lab. The first few bubbles of the gas should not be collected because it is actually the air that is filled inside the apparatus. Before the oxygen starts being produced, the air which is filled inside has to be driven out. So the first few bubbles should not be collected. Then the lower end of the thistle funnel should be dipped inside the solution. Hydrogen peroxide should be added drop by drop. Hydrogen peroxide should be added drop by drop. The lid of the jar should be fixed firmly with the help of the grease. So these are the various precautions that have to be taken into consideration when we are preparing oxygen in the lab with the help of hydrogen peroxide. The other method for the preparation of oxygen in the lab is by the action of potassium chloride and manganese dioxide. Now when both these things are mixed together in the proportion 4:1, mixed together, children, that means they are being heated together in the proportion 4:1. 4 part is potassium chlorate and 1 part is manganese dioxide in a hard glass test tube, and then the mouth of the test tube is closed by a 1-hole stopper. Through the stopper a delivery tube passes and comes in a trough containing water. This is known as a trough, children, that contains water. In this water a beehive shell is kept, and on top of the beehive shell there is a gas jar that is filled with water, and then it is inverted upside down. Again, as you will start heating, you will see some bubbles will be seen coming over here. We should not collect first few bubbles, children, because actually that are the bubbles of the air that is filled inside the test tube or in the delivery tube. After few bubbles have escaped, then actually the oxygen starts coming, and that can be collected again by the downward displacement of water. Manganese dioxide in this experiment is working as a catalyst. What is the role of this catalyst over here, children? It is to lower down the temperature of the breaking of potassium chlorate. right, from 670 Kelvin to 420 Kelvin. Now this is the range in between the temperature reaches. So in order to bring down the temperature from this range to 420 Kelvin, manganese dioxide is being added in this. Oxygen is again collected by the downward displacement of water. The reaction is temperature based as indicated in the equation. That means for this reaction to take place, children, there are certain conditions that are required. First, the temperature range should be 420 Kelvin and manganese dioxide is being used as a catalyst. Then only potassium chlorate will break to give potassium chloride as well as oxygen. This is a balanced reaction that has been given. Now, how will we know that the oxygen is being produced, children? Through the reaction we know. Oxygen is a supporter of combustion. So, how will you come to know that, children? We come to know about it because if you bring a burning splinter at the mouth of the test tube, you will see that the flame of the splinter, it will become bigger in size. That indicates that oxygen is being released. Some memory focus is given over here. Preparation from hydrogen peroxide and manganese dioxide is preferred over the second one. Why? Now there are certain reasons why it is being preferred. First thing is heating is not required. In hydrogen peroxide experiment where the oxygen is released, no heating is required. So that means it is much safer because it can then take place at the room temperature. That means the normal temperature. Rate of evolution of oxygen is faster in the first case. Hydrogen peroxide is not at all a dangerous liquid, so it can be easily handled in the lab. Potassium chlorate can cause a dangerous effect if heating is not done in a gentle and is not done under proper guidance. So it can prove to be dangerous for the children. Another method of preparing oxygen is by heating mercuric oxide, children. Now you can see for this the apparatus setup is a hard glass test tube is taken and in that mercuric oxide is taken. You have to remember, children, the color of mercuric oxide is red in color. And when it is taken, again the mouth of the test tube is closed with a one hold. One hold means a single hole is there through which a delivery tube passes. And then it is clamped to the stand. See, this is the stand and it is clamped over here so that it will not move. And then when the heating is being done, children, mercuric oxide starts breaking into mercury. It breaks into mercury and oxygen. Now this oxygen will start coming out of this delivery tube. And over here, children, where the opening of the delivery tube is, if you bring a burning splinter, see, a burning splinter is like this initially. When it is brought close to this delivery tube, the flames will start becoming bigger in size. So that shows that oxygen is being provided to it because oxygen is a supporter of combustion. Now mercury, children, will come, the vapors of the mercury will rise up and they will start condensing on the colder parts of the test tube. And that portion will start appearing as a silver mirror. So this is another method how oxygen can be prepared in the lab. Okay, mercuric oxide and potassium nitrate both will give out oxygen gas on strong heating. Still, both of them are not preferred in the laboratory preparation of oxygen. Why? There are certain reasons for it. First, mercuric oxide is an expensive compound. It is costly in the market, children. Mercury vapors are poisonous also. The amount used in both the cases is very large and the rate of evolution of oxygen gas is slow. So that is why it is not being preferred to prepare oxygen in the lab. There are other compounds also, children. These are the metallic compounds which on being heated, they start producing the metallic oxides as well as the oxygen. See, lead dioxide, right? O2 it has, that is why lead dioxide. When it will be heated, it will break into lead oxide. That means only single oxygen and oxygen will be released. Silver oxide will give us silver and oxygen. Red lead will give us litharge, that is lead oxide and oxygen. Sodium nitrate will give sodium nitrite and oxygen. So this ways, children, there are a lot of compounds that when being heated, they will give out oxygen, but they are generally not used because they are quite expensive. Now, how will we collect the dry oxygen? Oxygen is collected by the downward displacement of water. Hence, most of the oxygen needs to be dried. Dry oxygen can be obtained in the following manner. That means, how are you going to dry the oxygen? Because it picks up the moisture when it is being collected by the downward displacement of water. So how do we do it? By passing the gas through a tar containing drying agent. That means if we pass the gas through the drying agents, they will absorb the moisture and the gas will start becoming dried up. Like the compounds, drying agents can be phosphorus pentoxide or fused calcium oxide. By bubbling through concentrated sulfuric acid, after the gas is dried, it is collected by the downward displacement of mercury. As you can see, the apparatus setup which is shown over here, oxygen is there. It is made to pass through the drying agent and then it is collected over the mercury by the downward displacement of mercury. So that's it for today. I hope I have made myself very clear to all of you and you have understood whatever I have taught you today. Thank you. Have a nice day and see you in my next upcoming video. Till then, don't forget to subscribe, like and do share your comments with me.